I have this problem. I start the stream and I win 3 games in a row. And then I'm like, oh man, that's a perfect start to the day. Let's fucking quit playing so we don't get a single loss. And then I just do something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
I struggle, I think, a lot in the first 5 minutes. I do little mistakes. I think you and me are the same in that. I want to be perfect. I want to try to be perfect. And control and no rushing. And I felt human is the best for that because of fast expansions. But I have this thing in my head I want to maybe Warcraft with you about where I want to do expansions, but I'm so afraid of them. Like, let's say I meet my enemy and I kill 1 archer. So I feel like, oh, I'm ahead. You don't need to expand anymore. You're already ahead. Just kill him with 1 base now. Like, my brain doesn't find the expansion in a weird way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's funny because every single time I've watched you, you talked about, I want to expand, but I never find the window.
Yeah, I never do it. Yeah. Because I feel like, oh, I'm expanding. But there's Lakari. He's fan of knifing me. But I think I have to beat that fear of doing that.
Okay, good. This is a really good bedrock of understanding of where you're at. Let's go take a look at this replay and see what I see, okay?
Yeah.
You have the Discord share?
Oh, sure. No, I don't see anything.
If you click on your portrait or my portrait, there's probably a third box.
Watch stream. Sorry, I'm a boomer. I never understand hardware and stuff. I got it. Yeah.
Yep. And then you can do pop out in the bottom right, and then you'll have a window capture possibility for OBS that's called Discord null. You can capture that.
Oh, that's okay. Okay.
And then if you press the arrow on my forehead, then it max screens.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I got it. Looks good.
Just checking your stream.
I'm ready.
There. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. All right. Cool. Okay. Opening build, normal and solid. I would make a few small changes to the layout, but let's not get too deep into that for now.
Yeah, I struggle with that, yeah.
Ready to work.
Yep, 4 buildings.
I'm flirting with this idea of walling off the base with the risk of getting something stuck, but there's a lot of less issues, like a blade master running into your base.
Yep. Yeah, well, do you know how you come out of buildings? There's like 4 corners you can come out of.
Yeah, I was watching these tutorials a lot. Yeah, okay. I think I got that now, how you do the right click so there's no getting stuck.
So you just right click right here and then shift somewhere else. Looks like your rally's in the exact correct spot.
It's funny that at exactly this same moment, Starbuck got stuck today. Like even the pros do little mistakes there.
Yeah. Yeah, the problem is not that you can't press it here, it's that a pro must then resist the temptation to spam it 1 million times here.
Ready for action.
Why do I have to resist that? Why?
Oh, because what's the nearest corner to this place? If you spam your altar here, like the rally
bottom
point,
left.
This one, and it displaces counterclockwise, so he'll come here.
Yeah.
Because he wants to spawn
I
here,
always do
there's trees.
Yeah.
So you should put it here and then shift
I think I got that down, yeah. I do 1 click and then 1 shift and then I'm kind of safe.
Okay, so you're making your 9th peasant now. You have 5 militia.
That's wrong.
3 peasants here. You've got, let's see, wait, 5? Yeah, 5, 8. So you have 8 peasants on lumber in this box. So you're making your 9th. And this is unusual because let's say that human has about 6 to 8 opening builds. And they all tell a different story. So it would be great if you know the significance between different openings. It's maybe not 100% going to make or break every single game, but there are easy wins to be picked up here. So there is a double footman or triple footman double farm tech. If you tech with 2 farms, you save a lot of money. You get very fast tier 2, which means you get a very fast mountain king. And the very fast mountain king, the goal with that will be one of 2 goals. Either you immediately use Stormbolt to start killing 4 units, and the earlier you get a fast mountain king, the better, because you will have 4 Stormbolts faster than you otherwise would. So this is what double farm tech is for. Rush out a mountain king and start killing enemy headhunters, for instance, or archers with bolt. The second reason would be you want the mountain king fast, because the moment he comes out, you give all experience to mountain king, none to archmage. Rush mountain king 3 and then fight.
Let me go into detail in a way that I scout. As you can see, I'm trying to scout now more. And you tell me there's all these different ways for a human to open up. Should these ways to open up also be a reflection of what I'm scouting? You know what I mean?
They could be. But usually, human is the proactive one. You become reactive after you make your first decision. Okay, human makes maybe a decision between three things. Let's talk first about win conditions. You said you were interested in it, and it will be very crucial for you to know about win conditions, because as a human, you do not react, you set the pace.
Okay.
And the win conditions are all-in, fast tech, unit-based. One is an all-in. Usually, sorry for the massive flashbang to your screen.
Oh, no problem.
All-in, fast tech, unit-based. So you're getting a key unit early, key unit spam. Then you've got fast expansion, more money than them, kill early. Then you have high experience, getting a lot of XP, which can be done via power creeping or killing things from him. Okay, then you've got worker murdering.
You don't see that a lot in lower levels, if you like.
Correct.
Worker murdering.
But it will be relevant against Warden. Right? You talked about Lakari, you've seen that he plays Warden. We're watching a replay now against Warden. It's going to be a part of it. So in order to understand your win conditions, it's also good to know that your opponents have the same one.
Yeah, I was watching your coaching of Lakari, and then in this game we're about to watch, I'm trying to kill Wisp, and I just get wrecked. I just get wrecked. You will see in a sec.
Okay, I see. Which would be 0.5. I think there's one more. Wait, let me check. All in. Oh yeah, not dying.
Look at that. Lakari got a whole document, chat.
I'm gonna share it with more people. I made it on my off day, so I had a lot of
It's
time.
all good.
I've been real busy. Out microing. Okay, these are the way that I identify 8 different win conditions, and you can pick these early. As a human player, you will either pick number 2, fast tech, number 3, fast expansion, or number 4, high XP. And in humans' case, it's usually your second hero. It's not that your first doesn't want it, but the way that Warcraft 3 creeping usually works, fast level 3 first hero, and then fast level 3 second hero. Solo creep.
Yeah.
Do you know why that's good?
Yeah, especially for human, no one cares about level 4 Archmage. The level 2 Water Elemental is ready, and the level 3 Mountain King is something beautiful.
Yeah, perfect. So in this game, if I just look at your buildings and your playstyle, and I guess what your win condition is based on what you're doing, I actually can't guess, because 2 farms doesn't make a 9th peasant, and fast expo doesn't skip 3rd farm because your 3rd farm is late.
Yeah, I learned that today. Yeah.
And then all-in, an all-in would also need more farms, tier 1 all-in. And if it's a tier 2 all-in, you would again not make the 9th peasant. So right now, the DNA of your build is not in sync with what you would want to be doing. I'm not saying it has to be perfect, because you are not, 2 million MMR, but we should set a goal and then we should build towards it. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. So you're gonna
I can't see the stream on Discord.
Oh yeah, sorry, my bad. I'm gonna switch.
Stress. Yeah, that's like a great example of like how these 8 hours change a lot. I now understand that 3 farms means expansion kinda. 2 farms means Mountain King fast and stuff like that.
Yes. This is newish for you?
Yeah, I'm getting that now. I'm understanding that now. Yeah.
Ready to work.
Okay, so Footman
I
Scouts.
still can see on Discord.
Can you see it?
Sorry. I still see the win conditions.
That's weird, because I clicked it and I pressed go live. I see it's not switching either, even though I definitely did do it. Okay, here we go.
There it is. Yeah, got it.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so you went for your expansion. You will take a lot of damage on your extra units because you commenced immediately without waiting for all your DPS to arrive at the same time. So your Water Elemental is dead as your first militia gets 1 hit. So this is what I would call sloppy creeping. And if we wanted to be less sloppy, you would walk your Archmage here, summon Elemental, have your Footman here, bring your militia in, maybe even line them up a bit, or at least clump them up a bit, and then send in your Water Elemental, and like 1 second later send in everything else. And then, focus it fast. This is going to make you lose a lot of health from Footman Militia. My guess is here you have 2 deep red units. They're so deep
Oh, I
red,
even
they're
lose one.
dead. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
quick look at the footman
yeah.
scout.
Now you see amazing micro.
It's good that you
I
started
want
to
to
scout.
start building
Did
this
you
habit of scouting.
Yeah, you just started building the habit of scouting, correct?
Yeah, and my brain is overwhelmed already.
Yeah, understandable.
Our forces are under attack.
But that's how you build the habit. And now I look for the wisp. Probably should take the right one there. I am, okay.
Yeah, this is nice.
But
You
in
looked
this
at it
scenario,
again?
I know the warden's about to pop out. Should I not just run here? Because now I'm just stuck like an idiot.
Actually, his warden should already have been out because you didn't power build your altar, so it was late for no reason. But you saw it was building, so you knew that it's late and that it will come out soon. Yeah. Should you run? I think you can run past here over and over, but that would require constant attention, which you cannot have.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Our forces are under attack.
Yeah, now I'm just throwing away a footman.
yeah, that's fine. It's whatever. You know that he is warden. That's valuable.
Question, if his Tree of Life kills the footman, is that denied?
Yes,
Ah.
worth trying. Okay, so this is very, very common that this even happens to high-level players. While they're taking their expo, they're forgetting to make peasants. So usually, until you build the town hall, you have an option. Either you're going to keep building footmen, or you're going to keep building peasants. If you keep building peasants, and your timing on it is pretty good, you'll have better lumber economy. If you keep building footmen, you've got better defense / counterattack. Okay. Interesting thing you can do, since you have no units currently, if you do an auto attack on them and you pull them yay far, and you let them go back, and you re-engage them, the water elemental will not get purged. They will not cast any abilities.
Okay.
Have you ever done the rock golem pull, where you bring like?
I do that all the time, yeah. I love that one.
Yeah, you do that one on Tide Hunters, like the laboratory.
Yes, where you kill that priest, the guy, yeah.
Yeah, you kill the
I
priest
think
first.
I'm doing that well now, yeah.
Yeah, I thought I heard you do that. So you can do the same thing here. Just do an auto attack with Archmage, run here. You start running back already. You don't even have to wait here while they're here and thinking about going back. Once they're here, you just start going back. And once they arrive back here, you summon Ellie and there won't be any purging.
Okay. I feel like a lot of good players are using this kind of pulling a lot. This pulling stuff is really good.
Yes, there's more reasons than just disabling spells. It's also often so you don't get creepjacked in a chokehold. Because if I go in here and someone comes in, it's hard for me to get away. I have to like squeeze past them. Whereas if you pull this camp and you were farming it here, for instance, not this far because they'll run back home. But if you just pulled about this far, now suddenly you have more of a better escape route from a creepjack. You see the angle I'm drawing is like an open corner.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're here, it's a V corner. It's like a really tight turn. It's hard to get out when they draw you in. So everything can be pulled. Like this camp, for instance. If I expect he's going to come in and creepjack me, I come in here and I just start farming it on location, I can get locked in. If I just pulled around the corner here and I'm fighting it from here, then if he comes in, he has to run through the creep camp in order to get to me, and that already makes it so much safer. That's why there's a lot of pulls.
Yep. Yeah, that's something I learned today, yeah. Yeah, my chat is telling me something. One thing we have to do later, I need your help with, is how do I make my mouse buttons do items? I struggle with that so hard. We can do that later. That will be very helpful.
Okay.
I do boomer for that.
Okay.
We can talk about that later.
I'm gonna ask a friend who did it that way, because I don't know how they did it.
Okay. But when you use an item, what's your hotkey to use?
You don't want to know. Numpad.
Okay. Numpad. I thought you have like... You know when guitar players change their guitar and they use their foot? I thought you have that.
I should. No, I have it on numpad. So it's really inconvenient.
Your left hand goes over to the numpad?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
This is actually the reason I don't bench press too much. Because if I bench press too much, there wouldn't be any space while pressing my pecs for my arm to go all the way to the other side of my body to go to the numpad.
Okay.
Ready for action.
Okay. So, you lost your footman.
Yeah.
And currently, you're not aware of what's happening. Funnily enough, he is completely not aware of what's happening either. Look at his vision.
Yep.
So maybe, you know, you haven't been scouted. Maybe you don't. You made Arcane Tower. Wait, you made Arcane Tower before Town Hall, is it? It's a great habit.
I'm just so afraid. Yeah, I saw
yeah.
that from Starbuck, just to make sure nothing happens.
Nice, good. Okay, so basically, after human chooses win condition of fast expand, the next step is not up to you. The first step is up to you. What win condition? You pick one of the 6 win conditions. Creeping, fast tech, expand, all in. You pick something like that. Or then after you pick one of them, the next step is not up to you. After you pick expand, because they need to deal with the money problem. You have more money, so they're gonna try and deal with that. So either you're gonna defend yourself, or you're gonna counterattack to draw away attention from the expansion.
Do you have advice from me that if I do a fast expand build, how much should I have on lumber? A lot of fast expand builds, you are running out of lumber. You're like, oh, where's my lumber? Do you have like a rule of thumb? How many peasants
Yes.
should happen?
You want 11 to 14.
Okay.
11 would be an extremely trim fast tech follow-up with a minimum of towers and a really fast low lumber tech. Probably you may even do like double racks with rifles. You're gonna hit like an early tier 2 timing. You can't really go to tier 3. You can't build a lot of towers. You can't go like 3-4 production buildings at tier 2 either. Too much lumber. And if your peasants get harassed, you need to replace. So 11 is bare bones. 14 is excessive. Think, I want 2 arcane towers here for Warden and a guard tower for the huntresses. I want 3 towers here, and I want a blacksmith and a 4 farm wall. And then once I get to tier 2, I'm gonna go straight tier 3 with triple workshop. That needs 14. So it's gonna be somewhere between 11 and 14.
That's very interesting. If I face Lakari, you're telling me kind of 2 arcane towers per base with one of these other towers.
Yes, and there are extra layers of defense against Warden once Wardens go to your base. The Arcanes deal with Warden, but there's something Warden can deal with. Shake off the effect of Arcanes, which is AMS Potion.
Which you didn't tell Lakari to do, hopefully.
He's already doing it.
Oh, shit.
So AMS Potion, it gives him maybe 10 seconds, is it? I think. 10 seconds of invincibility against magical and spell effects, which means he will only take the 8 to 10 piercing damage, but there will be no sap effect. No mana loss, no extra damage from it. So, this arms race is multi-layered. What do you do next if he has AMS Potion? I can give you the answer, but I'm just checking if you have any questions.
No, I'm listening deeply.
Okay.
And I'm not scared of Lakari, okay? This kind of knife stuff is harsh, man. It's hard.
You can put a priest with Dispel in each base. AFK, not part of your army. And then once he blinks in, you react fast. You take your priest, you dispel the AMS Potion.
Okay, that sounds higher level, yeah. I was thinking of maybe buying a Zeppelin, and every time he comes in, I just put them all in a little airship.
That's good too, but the combination of those two things, what you just said and I said, is the best. Because the priest is there for removing AMS, so you're punishing him and putting a clock on him, and you're saving your peasants. If you only do Zeppelin, you're saving them, but there's no clock on him. And if you only do the AMS removal, then you may still not be able to save your peasants despite burning him. So it's best to do both. Yeah. And then also in the aftermath, after you drop your 5 or 8 peasants, whatever, and the priest that was there, when you drop them all down to the ground again, eventually the priest will full life everyone again, so that there's no war of attrition against your peasants.
Huh. Okay, that's very interesting. Next question, I have just so many questions. I see a fan of Nimes Warden like Lakari. I've come a second, that's stuff I learned today. Would you agree with that?
Yep.
And if it's the single target damage Warden, what would be a good second hero? Mountain King or?
You can do Mountain King. You can do Blood Mage to siphon her. You can do Paladin to heal. Or you could still do Alchemist because she can also still reskill.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so those are the options. And I think you can play around, see which one you like. Or I can do some replay study and see which one people mostly do when it's Shadow Strike. But I see more fan than Shadow Strike against human.
Okay.
Usually...
Is Shadow Strike dispellable with a priest?
It is not. It's not dispellable. It's only disjoinable if you TP or invul before the primary impact.
Okay.
So you block it like a shield to an arrow. Oh, you can dodge it with Zeppelin if your Zeppelin is right next to your hero.
Okay, that
That's
sounds
not gonna
hard.
happen. Yeah.
That sounds hard, yeah.
If it's Shadow Strike, usually they have to spam Shadow Strike on your hero. So Paladin is an option, but also think of things like Heal Pot and Keeping Cloak. Keeping Cloak is great against Warden with Shadow Strike because they're not going to have dust. Okay. So, in your situation, you're super solidly set up. Lovely wall here, arcane position decent. You are, I believe, 6 peasants away. This town hall, I think, is 1 slot too far away. And you have 1 peasant too few. So you're mining maybe with the power of 3.8 peasants instead of 5. Still, a solid economic lead. Your blacksmith is coming along. You're making a shop. Nice wall. Need arcane in your main as well if you want to be safe and not need to like worry about it later. And then now we need to start thinking about what are we going to do. You have options against Warden or against Night Elf to go to siege engines, triple workshop siege engines, or a big old rifle push with some priest support. And that second one that I'm mentioning is by far the most common. Alchemist, rifles, priest, and then spellbreakers.
Yeah.
Let's see what you're going to do.
I watch pros, they do that tank stuff, and that seems so advanced. Like, I don't understand that. The tank just kills buildings, but it doesn't kill army, and...
Yeah, let's not do that then.
That seems hard, yeah, that seems hard.
Yeah, it has too many layers to learn in too short a time.
Job's done.
Okay, making rifles.
I want to talk to you about the deep meta of a lumber mill.
Okay.
Today, Xlord and Leon told me you don't need the lumber mill, Tommy. You don't need it. In an expansion, you do. But if you do single base tier 2, why do you build that lumber mill? Don't do it. You're fine with lumber anyway.
Yep.
They're like, don't do the lumber mill. Safety resources.
Yeah, I agree.
So I like to always have these basic post-it notes in my brain. Lumber mill if you expand. That's like a nice post-it note.
Yeah,
okay.
I agree. It's not that one-base builds never have had a lumber mill. It's just that the 8 or 9 peasants that you make on one base are already sufficient. And if you accidentally lose 3 peasants, 1 to creeps, and then another to creep, and then he comes to kill one, and you have only 5 peasants left, definitely compensate by making a lumber mill, because you are halfway to tech to tier 2, and there's no other way to rebalance your lumber economy, understand?
A lumber mill is kind of like a little bit of a backup mechanic in a weird way.
Yes, on one base it's a backup
come back from lumber.
For unexpected peasant loss. But if you have no unexpected peasant loss, the peasant number, the count already covers your needs. And in early game also the trees are quite close. Instead of lumber mill, try to click the closest trees. So if you need more lumber, click this peasant on this tree, click this peasant on this tree, click someone on this tree, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Let's see. Double Sanctum. Positioning...
Yeah. We will see in a second why.
Positioning is risky.
It's such a big problem that you study with someone like you and you learn things, but then when you're in the game, as a new guy and as an old boomer, you just forget all that stuff so fast.
You're gonna forget?
And you look at it in a replay and you're like, what the fuck am I doing?
Okay. Well, I don't know if you're a note taker. I'm like a big note taker. I would take notes. I would say like Sanctum tucked away in my base. There's space here, there's space here.
100%, yeah. Hey, that's what I'm trying to do now. Using my head there a bit more.
Also, I think you got defense upgrade. It's not worth it for 3 footmen anymore, and it doesn't do anything against Huntress. Usually, once we start rifles, we forget about defense upgrade.
Job's done.
We talked about learning up matchups. If I know I'm facing Huntress spamming Night of Kari, what does that tell me? Mountain King rifle, or what would you do in that situation? You know you're facing Huntresses.
Huntresses are a big existential threat that is temporary. So we must deal with it in the most serious, most urgent way possible, which means non-stop rifle production, nothing about footmen. We're going to make sure that we control group all of our peasants in advance on a control group. I like putting them on 0, but I'm a freak. I'm psycho, so...
Yes, yours weird, yeah.
If you have any space for it, you can do anywhere you want. But I try to take as many peasants as I expect to soon be needing to bring them into militia, so that once this shit breaks out, I can just press the hotkey and then press call to arms and then shift attack here. You need non-stop rifle production. When I see Warden and Huntress, I think this guy needs to end the game early. Because Huntress, what do they lose to? Knights, Mortar, Rifle, Dragonhawk, Griffin. They lose to many things. What do they beat? Peasants, militia, footmen, and like that's about it. They even lose their guard towers. So I would want to have a guard tower. I would want to build my buildings in a safe position because this is easy clickbait for him. And you don't need double sanctum. You want one sanctum with priests coming out. And then double sanctum says, by the way, I will go breakers eventually. Because you're not going to go 11 sorceresses and 12 priests.
Yeah.
So one sanctum very quickly built is more valuable than 2 sanctums. And then you would probably want double barracks as well. Double barracks mass rifles.
Yeah, I often struggle that when I fast expand, I have all these resources that my brain isn't ready to use.
Yeah.
That happens a lot.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. But goal setting helps a lot with that trust. So once you try to determine early what your win condition and theirs is. So usually the way it will go for human 80% of the time, your win condition is fast expand. Theirs is to kill it. So your second win condition is not die.
Yeah.
Because if you don't die, you win because you have the expansion.
Yeah.
And so how do we not die? Not by going to tier 3 and making griffins. It's super simple usually. That you just need lots of rifles. It's almost always the answer. Lots of rifles will deal with the not dying part.
The rifles seem like a unit, if you're not too good at the game, just do a lot of rifles.
Yes, I call them staple units. They are units that if you if you don't know how to counter, you make them and they're always good. Exactly. So you have cloak, you didn't need to run.
Yeah, this is just my brain doesn't think about that. Oh, I have a cloak. I need to learn that.
You won't think about it once you get attacked. The key about cloak and items like that is to do all the mental preparation now on the coaching, but before you click your first game of the day. You say to yourself, Cloak of Shadows, Grubby said it's a good item. If I get attacked, I need to use it. And you tell that to yourself 5 times a day when you're not playing the game. And then once you have the cloak,
say it in the morning when you eat with the family.
Yeah, Cloak of Shadows. And she's like, what, honey? And he's like, oh, never mind. You're in front of the mirror brushing your teeth. You're like, Cloak of Shadows. So
I should wear a cloak just to remind myself.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Do some method acting. Then when you are in a situation in a game where you're not actively fighting, constantly check if you're wearing your seatbelt. Okay, I have a cloak. I don't have a TP. Okay, what do I do if you focus my hero? Okay, I just die like a lich, right?
Yeah.
So instead, okay, if you focus my hero, I'm gonna cloak. Because now it's too late. Now it's panic, right? Our eyes are going red and...
I did my hotkeys yesterday, and there's a hotkey for cloak, apparently. Huh?
Yep, true.
D, yeah. Cool, just do that.
I need to change it too. Mine is on I, and it's a bit far away. Not as far as numpad, but somehow I find it hard to find the middle of my keyboard.
This guy goes for 0, but says I is too far away.
No, but it's weird. I, O, L, P, for me, are unclickable. Like, I just ham-fist it. I just smash it with my whole palm. Okay, do you know what happened here? Why this happened?
Yeah, the wrong flag thingy. Yeah.
Where was your flag,
Terrible.
you think?
Somewhere southwest.
Correct.
Probably on creep camp.
It was on your Archmage.
Ah, yeah.
Okay, so first of all, don't build farms behind your altar after you've established the wall. That just makes it more difficult. Save this real estate for Arcane Sanctums. All farms can go in a neat little line around your town hall. Or anyway, don't take up 4x4 spaces. Try to lodge them here against the lumber mill. This would be a good place to stack some farms. You can build them here if you like. You can build them in front with another base layout where you have a gap somewhere here. Just don't take up these really valuable 4x4 real estate places with farms.
Yeah.
But the problem with the rally point on the altar, it's very normal and meta to put it on your hero. And it's fine so long as your hero is anywhere here, right? But the moment the hero goes under this line, it will be interpreted as a southwest corner line.
Yeah.
Counterclockwise displacement, and he's stuck. And this can lose you games. So I know it seems pedantic. Always a couple of Andys that are like, oh, it's too much. This is important. So the way you fix it is you click here, and then you shift click on your altar.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, on your Archmage.
Yeah.
It wouldn't happen.
I always feel very stupid when that happens. Feels very bad.
Well, maybe need to take a look at your control groups. Do you group your sanctums and stuff?
Yes, that was a big thing I worked on today. Control groups. I click on my barrack and then shift, click the sanctums, shift 3. So I have If I press 3, I have my barracks, and if I tap, I'm into my sorcery stuff.
Fantastic. There's another way you can do it, where you just double-click the sanctums without pre-selecting racks. If you do Shift 3, it still works the exact same way you just described.
Oh, okay.
Shift 3 on the sanctums means permanently add to the group that the barracks is already a part of. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah. Kinda, yeah.
Okay, if it's kinda, can I explain it again?
Sure.
Okay.
It was a long day.
Control 3 on racks.
Yeah.
Does Rax becomes the new group 3 by himself forever.
Yeah.
And so next time you press 3, it'll select the Rax. And you said you will click Rax, and then you hold Shift and you double click the sanctums, and then you do Shift 3.
Yeah.
And this does work, but there's also an easier way to do it. If you just select both sanctums and then press Shift 3, it gets permanently added to the control group 3, which the barracks was already a part of.
Oh shit, that's deep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't need the simultaneous selection.
Okay, that's okay. I need to once again put that in my brain first.
Yeah.
But that sounds great, yeah.
You do
sounds
follow
great.
it this time, right?
Yeah. Sorry.
So, no, it's all good. And so, control group 1 is your Mountain King, Archmage, and all your rifles. And you hear, "What then, Waddy?" And a rifleman pops out.
Mm-hmm.
You can just select it and then Shift 1 by himself without pre-selecting your whole army. And he'll be added to group 1.
Okay, that's actually massive. Wow.
It's big.
That's actually massive.
Embarrassingly,
Wow.
during my whole pro career, I never knew about this. I only learned it after I switched to StarCraft in 2011. For 7 years, I never knew.
Wow.
But now I always use it because it's so good.
Yeah, that sounds really great.
Yeah.
It's crazy how many things there in a 20-year-old game you still can learn.
Yep. Oh, cool. Got a little manual of health.
Nah, who reads books nowadays, right?
That's actually depressingly true.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay, now it's time to just pump. Don't think about 50 pop at all, just like you're doing. So, you're doing great. You are in the act of staying alive. You're solo creeping Mountain King.
Will you, in my situation, still below 50? Because you're like really good
No.
and you're...
No, it's too
okay.
greedy. I
Okay.
would like information about whether he's counter expanding.
Yeah.
Because you could make a misjudgment. But even if he counter expanded, it's much later than yours. So you want to slap your money on the table and shove it in his face before his expansion pays off too much. So yeah, just pump straight over 50. You're going to go for a basic army. And I love what you're doing here. Let's see, what items did you get? Okay, I think maybe either he has heal scroll or you didn't have enough money for heal scroll, so you got protection.
I just misclicked. I thought it's the heal scroll.
Okay, cool.
This is a habit I want to work on the next week. Just this understanding of items. Buy invul potion, buy a health. It's really hard for me to think about items. This big layer of Warcraft 3. There's items.
Yep.
Take 'em.
I loved how much you loved like picking up that potion of invulnerability very consistently in the X-Lord coaching.
Yeah, that's such a big thing. Also, what I liked about with the coaching is you learn how a pro thinks, that wherever you are on the map, be useful in that area. Do that creep camp, get that item, do something there.
Yes. So for instance, your current vision is like this. Let's say you know you fucked up, you forgot to scout for expansion. And so now you have to live with that knowledge. And so maybe you're going to move your army to this base now, expecting there could be an expansion. But what you find instead is that all the creeps are still alive. Because you've already made the trip, you now must creep it to be efficient.
Yeah.
We never send our army somewhere to then not do something. So yeah, totally agree with what you're saying.
All about like efficiency.
Yeah.
In a way.
Okay, nice. Timing attack. Very nice macro. Units pumping along very well. You've got a lot of lumber, so I would bring probably 6 militia.
Ah, okay.
4, 5.
I need to have
6.
the bolts to bring militia more often.
Yeah. 4, 5, 6, 9, 11, 14. That is bloody perfect maximum peasant. 11 to 14, I said, remember?
Yeah.
And
okay,
do you see
that
now
was
how
totally
true
lucky.
that is? Because you have 14 and you have too much lumber. Because no guard tower, no arcanes. But you can imagine if they were building towers, you lose lumber income and you spend lumber on the towers. It's 80 lumber per tower. And also you lose the building time. So let's say 90 lumber per tower. So if you made 3 more towers, okay, now you would only have 800. Not nearly as egregious of an excess.
Yeah.
Now that you have 14 peasants, definitely bring 6 to 8. Call to arms militia. They'll fight here for 8 seconds. Then they revert back to peasant. You build arcane vault. Now you've got regeneration scroll, mana pot, heal pot, etc. Because you're coming here, it's very risky. He's warden 5. You have no TP. You have no heal pot. Invo only on the Mountain King. You have a large army, but you don't bring everything.
And these guys are,
Okay, that guy's still coming. Some of it is...
Wanderlust, you call it.
Yeah, Wanderlust. This guy right there. But it's risky. It's a little risky. So the best way to lose...
So if you look at this picture, it looks bad for me, you will say, right?
Your army quality is better. His hero quality is better because he's 5. 5 is better than 4-2, usually. You've had base for longer, so you probably have better upgrades. 1-1. He's 0. Okay. Your army size is probably better. Yes, 15 more. But much of that is in peasants. So I would say that you are headed towards a victory. You have the game set up to be advantageous. But you're making a play that is potentially giving you the best chance of defeat.
Okay.
Which is going against fan level 3. Maybe he could have had mana pot. It's not like you knew that he's not tier 2, that he can't buy mana pots. If he does 3 fans of knife, it's lights out.
Yeah.
Because you don't have heal scroll.
Which is a huge argument for an alchemist there, right?
Yeah. Huge argument for an alchemist for one. But if you don't have an alchemist, you need, and this will feel excessive to a non-item buyer such as yourself until yesterday or until this morning. Yeah. You need 1 healing scroll per fan. Need. That means you are not coming here unless you have 3 heal scrolls.
Okay. Okay.
Or 2.
Capiche.
But you can also have 1 heal scroll and a TP. That means that the first fan will be heal scrolled and the second fan will be TP'd. And then regen scroll. And then you go again.
Okay. I see. Think about items more. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
That's a big thing.
Well, not just think about it. Make a prepped list before you ladder for the day that says you will be buying heal scrolls and info potions. See which items are good for you.
I want to ask you something. I always see people do Mountain King Stormbolt into the bash, but I always feel like in this situation, the clap is so juicy. We have the Brilliance aura. Why not do the clap there, right?
You get 2 claps.
I never understand why people do that bash.
Yeah, it's mana efficiency. So Bolt Bash is about controlling hero. If you have Bolt Bash, you pretty much never bolt units in a big fight. It's all about controlling the hero and reducing the uptime of their DPS and reducing their ability to use items at the right time, etc. So claps is about units, but you would never use clap unless you absolutely have to until you're Mountain King 3. Because the mana cost for clap 1 and 2 is the same, but the effect is vastly different. So if you now go 0 mana, Brilliance notwithstanding, if you don't buy Clarity, it's going to take you another, 2 minutes, 3 minutes to get back to full. So any claps spent now will make you weaker over the next 3 minutes. And if you were to level up soon, you're going to level up with 80 mana in the bank. So now you don't have any high level claps. It's level 1 clap is quite garbage. That's why MK3 is such a concept.
Okay. Man, this is deep. Can
take
you fake spells in this game? Can I fake a Stormbolt on a Warden to trigger his blink?
Yes.
And then I press S and cancel it?
Yes.
Ooh, okay. Ooh,
very
you're
fun.
Done.
Okay.
He always was blinking away from my Stormbolts. I felt so stupid.
they try.
Like, damn.
Okay, let's take like 30 seconds where we take a short break from the call. I want to try something new where you talk to your chat, I talk to mine. In 30 seconds we go on just to give ourselves a breather.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Alright guys, how do you think it's going? I'm on deafen. It's going well? Not bad? Super awful. Great. He might be getting information overload. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. He seems to take it in. He seems locked in. Yeah. I don't think... I mean, look, I don't think my coaching yesterday was perfect, but I don't take any responsibility for what happened. I'm genuinely not insecure about that, and there's no issues between T90 and me whatsoever. But I still think it's nice, even though I don't take responsibility for it. It's still nice to try and do the best job that I can. And I recognize that people need breathers between info drops so that it will be easier to process again. But I saw Hearts of Iron 4, what Tommy plays. I watched like some of his videos, and there's a lot of information there on the screen. It's like very pretty spreadsheets. I'm not doing this because I think he's not taking it in. I'm giving us a break so that it will be easier to take other things in.
I just think it's sometimes maybe a bit weird for chat because nobody knows who I am.
Yo, I'm back. What up?
What did you do? What was this? You just... What happened?
I'm putting us on timeout. It's a new experiment where we can like kind of have a breather, like a mental breather, and then we can go into new concepts. Not because you're not handling it or because I'm losing my voice, but just trying out to see if that's useful. I think it is.
Oh, okay. Timeouts are good.
Cool. So...
Is that my ex-girlfriend too?
You've got Priest in your selection group. What happened here?
Yeah, terrible. I know, yeah. Terrible.
This is before the X-Lord coaching. I knew he already chewed you up a bit about that, so we don't have to go too deep into it. But they're not going to heal if you do this.
Yeah. That's really... I just feel like... Just play games, learn it. Like you said perfectly, put these mental notes in. Don't just go into a game blindly and really think about this. Make these control groups.
Yep.
Yeah. Just takes a while to make a habit like that.
Very nice target fire on the Huntresses. Also by the Priests.
Any DPS?
Okay, hold on. That is Clap level 1, even though you're Mountain King 3. Did you pick Bolt too?
I think this is a moment where my brain is a bit of a Dota brain. I was Bolt, Clap, and then Bolt again. And I just want to feel that. I just want to throw that Clap. Because it's like doing something. I use my mana in a way. But you just gave this great explanation why it's not so good. Yeah. But it's level 1, I think. Yeah.
Clap is worth leveling. I would normally on Mountain King 3, if you go for Bolt Clap, I would go for Clap Upgrade. Because I believe the stun time for Stormbolt remains consistent. It's only the damage that goes up. So you're getting maximum stun time from Bolt, even at level 1. Just more damage.
Okay.
Whereas Clap, the area gets bigger and it does more damage to everyone.
You said a beautiful thing a second ago. Should I put in my brain, this Mountain King's job is to see this Warden?
If you bolt bash,
he just
yes.
bolts her the whole time.
If you bolt bash, yes.
Okay. Like, I look at this picture and I feel like I lost, but somehow I still win it.
He's tier 1, so his short range. Archers are kind of garbage without support.
So interesting to me when I watch Warcraft 3 games or watch you and stuff, that this tier stuff is so important. If someone is a tier ahead, it's such a massive thing.
Yeah, did you know there's XP advantage from being on a higher tier if you're solo hero?
Oh, I did not know that. Wow. Do you know how much?
Yes, 15%. If you're a tier 2 with solo hero, you get 15% bonus from everything. 69 instead of 60 for a rifle.
Oh, okay.
And then if you're tier 3, it's 30% extra.
So that's very good for Warden players.
Very good for Warden.
Nice. But if the second hero is out, that's all out of the window. That's like whatever.
Correct. In fact, it's not even when the second hero is out. It's once he starts being produced.
Oh. Dude, it must have taken you guys years to figure all that stuff out.
Yep, it did.
Damn.
I still learn
Is there stuff you still learn nowadays where after 20 years you just feel like, whoa, damn.
Yes. Wait, I think you're Bolt, Clap, Bash. 1-1-1.
I feel that, but if that's just me panicking. I'm just clicking random buttons. That's like not planned. That's just panic mode.
All good. I like a little bit of creativity. Do you put your priest on follow here as well on Mountain King?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay. Nice pressure. Very good macro during all this. So most people, when they're fighting, they don't remax all the time. So this is going to be a super useful skill for you to continue having. Great upgrades as well on the rifles.
Yeah, that's, I think, the one thing I do well from StarCraft. Just press 3 and then press WW, because it's a priest and rifle.
Nice.
Pretty simple, yeah.
I put them both on R, so I do the same thing.
R.
Yeah. So, biggest...
I buy the wrong scroll again.
So this is only against physical. His main source of damage is magic.
Because of the fan. Okay.
I come.
You need town portals and heal scrolls. Very important.
Okay. And now he has that shadow thing.
Yeah.
But the shadow thing doesn't do anything if there's no corpses, I understand.
Yes. Well, it got nerfed recently. It used to do 50 damage. Now it only does like 30. And it summons these little shits that last 50 seconds and are invincible. And they have piercing, so they do bonus damage to priests.
Oh.
Usually, if they use it sloppily like this, just use everything and target fire it. It has 1200 health. It's quite a lot, but if they want to suicide the ulti, just take their offer on it.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like if I'm a very negative guy. I always look at my games and feel negative. I feel like if that Night Elf was a bit better, I would have been crushed.
Yeah.
You just kind of gifted that to me in a way. Yeah.
That is indeed quite negative. I agree with you.